Hello and welcome to Friday's Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic. This is the episode each week when I try to solve the Times Cryptic crossword and talk through my thought processes such as they are, with a view to hopefully improving your own solving and revealing some of the weird and wonderful tricks that are behind these puzzles. And they are weird and they are very wonderful. Today's puzzle is by James McGaughey, who is a James's puzzles, I don't know how long I've actually been solving James's puzzles for in the Times. I don't think it's that long, but every single one of them has been fantastic. The snitch rating today is high but not monstrous, so let's just have a quick look. Okay, so we've got, right, the two times that are real. Antigone, I think, is a typist. Moan is John McCabe, so that is a real time, 8:27. Then comes Mark, 9 minutes 50, and I can actually tell you that Mark's recorded that solve. So if you are a patron of the channel over on Patreon, you can go over there and watch Mark's speed run. I think he did try and do it as a speed run as well. So even though that time he'll probably be appalled by, I guess Mark's average time is probably 5.5 minutes. That still, you can see, in terms of genuine times, that is phenomenally quick. And just looking at some of these other names here, I mean, Jason James, I think, is a phenomenal solver. Andrew Fisher is a phenomenal solver, and they've taken 11 and 12 minutes. Let's go further down, just because mere mortals might be interested. I mean, Dean's a brilliant solver, 16 minutes. Let's see how many. Okay, so 87 people have submitted, many of whom have, well, some of whom have one error. In fact, even Matthew Marcus has an error there. Matthew won the Times Crossword Championship just 2 years ago, so it's definitely not a straightforward puzzle. I would expect nothing less on a Friday, and that is great news. So what can I tell you about? I don't have any birthdays. I've told you that Mark's solve is over on Patreon. I don't think there's anything else. So let's get cracking and see how we go. I think I have got my dictionary open. I think I have. So it should be okay. Right. So one across, 6 letters. Cover up in shower. Not after nurses turn round. What does that mean? So does that mean after the nurses turn round, you don't cover up? I'm not sure, but one thing is for sure: never ever think about the pictures that are being thrown in, especially not with this clue. Never think about the pictures that are being thrown into your mind, because almost certainly these authors are brilliant and they are trying to mislead you. So, quick reminder: if you've never done a cryptic crossword before, all of these clues have a straight definition of the answer that we have to enter. So something in this clue is defining a 6-letter word. That definition, if you like, part of this clue is normally at the start or the end. So cover up, perhaps, or turn round, maybe. I don't know. The rest of the clue that isn't the straightforward definition of the answer, is what I describe as a recipe, explaining how you can build up the components of the answer by, for example, putting a word in another word, or reversing a word, or anagramming a word. That recipe will be expressed in a way that is designed to be difficult to understand, but it has to be precise. So James has to tell us exactly what we have to do. So let's reread this now with that sort of frame of mind. So cover up in shower. I don't know. Cover up in shower. In terms of the recipe, phrases like turn round suggest reversing something, don't they? So that to me feels like it's likely to be part of the recipe. Not after nurses turn around. There's a lot going on in this one. I don't know what it is. I can't really understand it. So let's move swiftly on. One down, 6 letters. See boss bungle. See boss bungle work. I think we've all probably done that in our lives. See boss bungle work. Whenever I see the word bungle, I always think of Rainbow. It's a children's TV show in the... I know I'm not going to go there. Oh, bungle. No, I'm not doing it. See boss bungle work. I don't know. I'm trying to think about what the definition might be here. And it could be see, or it could be work. It's not going to be see boss. There are no words that mean see boss. There are words that mean bungle work. C. Let's just talk briefly about C, because it is a bit of crosswordese. If you see the word C in a cryptic crossword, it actually could be the letter C. I think that is a valid spelling. I mean, C-double-E is certainly a valid spelling. And I think C-E, if we look at C, yeah, there we go, the third letter of the alphabet. So you've got to look out for that. The other thing that you do see from time to time is that C might be defining a diocese, so a city that has a... So, for example, Ely comes up a lot, because many words end ELY, so it's a very useful tool for a constructor. I don't know what this is either, I'm afraid, though. Let's have a look at 4 across, 8 letters. Twit, copying antique with pine, mostly. Okay, I mean, I don't know what this is, but we should talk about the word mostly. If you see the word mostly in a cryptic crossword clue, it 99 times out of 100 will mean, think of a word, in this case, that means pine. Now, obviously, that might be pine as in wood, but it might be pine if you pine for someone, you long for them. And take most of that word. Now, when it says most of that word, what it actually means is just cut off the last letter. So it's not going to be more complicated than that. Twit, copying antique, or twit copying. There can't be a word that means twit copying. Copying antique, I'm thinking old, aged. Pine, I'm thinking long, yearn, want, wish. And in each case, chopping off the last letter to form probably the end part of this answer. But nothing is occurring to me. I'm going to have to just keep going. 5-4, this one is 10 across. Flatter. Flatter track takes very little time. Flatter track takes very little time. I don't know what this is. If I was guessing, I think it's going to be a phrase that means flatter. But that's probably going to be flatter as in to, soft soap or something. It's going to be to pander to somebody. Flatter. And then how's the rest of it going to work? A word for track, don't know what that is, takes very little time. Very little time. What could that be? A second? A moment? But that's probably going to be inside the word for track. I don't know what that one is either. Let's just keep going. We're going to have to find one eventually we can do, hopefully. 11 across, 5 letters. Come by 5, do you mean? Come by, visit? Yeah, okay, I've finally done one. That's a relief. So, the only way I've solved this clue is I saw the number 5. You have to be, if you see a number in a cryptic crossword clue, whether it's written like this or whether it's just, it's the actual numeral, you must think about the Roman numeral equivalent. So 5 is V in Roman numerals. So I was immediately thinking V. Now, at this point, I don't know what the definition is, but it occurred to me it could be come by. Now, if you come by is to visit. So how does the rest of this recipe work? Do you mean ? Well, a synonymous phrase with do you mean would be is it? Do you mean this? Is it this? They are synonymous. So we finally understood one. And we can probably, let's try and use the V, shall we? 6 down, which is 5 letters with a V in the middle. Any number after dance party are starving. Right. Okay. So this is an interesting one. If you like Edgar Allan Poe, it's a very interesting one. But how are we reading this? Any number after dance party. So that word after again seems to be a positional word, doesn't it? It seems to be, it could be part of a recipe telling us to put something after something else. So if you see any number, that's normally a mathematical reference to a variable in an equation. So you might have x, y, z, or z. Or in this case, I think n. Any number could be n, the nth position in a series. So if that's right, that any number is coming after a 4-letter word for a dance party with a V in it. Now what about a rave? And that gives the word raven, which on the face of it, I mean, I hope that you're the same as me and you're thinking, raven? Isn't that a bird? Once upon a midnight dreary, etc. While I pondered weak and weary. Well, yes, it is. But I think this must be part of the root of the word ravenous. And therefore the definition is are starving. So if you're raven, you are starving. I mean, it must be right. I didn't know it as a word, but let's look it up. Raven. Okay, there's the species of crow. Yeah, so here we go. Same as ravin as a noun. Ravening. Hang on, wait, let's get it back. To devour hungrily or greedily, to prey rapaciously upon, to be intensely hungry. So, if you're starving, I think you are raven. Not easy. Well, no, actually not too bad. At least the recipe part of that was doable. Well, mainly because we had the V. Should we go for 5 down? It's only 3 letters. A lot of sharp turns. I'm afraid. Okay, I don't know what this is. But this word turns again. If something turns, it implies it reverses. So what are we turning here? Well, I don't know is the answer, but a lot of sharp. I think what we're looking for here is a 4-letter word that means sharp. And we're taking a lot of that word. So again, just like with the word mostly, we're taking the first 3 letters of the word that means sharp, the 4-letter word that means sharp, and we're turning it round. And then that's going to give us an expression that means I'm afraid. Now, is that, oh, my watch thinks I was talking to it. Sorry, I don't understand. I don't, well, no, neither do I. I don't understand the clue. So if you're a 4-letter word meaning sharp, if something is sharp, it is barbed. Sharpen is to hone. Or if you're clever, you're sharp. Bright. Couldn't be a musical sharp, I don't think. I don't know, that's annoying because I think that's very solvable. I'm just not thinking of the right synonym for sharp. Let's try 7 down, which is 8 letters. Summits welcoming American patronage. Okay, I don't know what this one is either, but I suspect I know what this means in terms of how to read the clue as a cryptic clue. Summits welcoming American. Now that suggests we need a word for summits that's of some length, and that's going to welcome into it. It's going to host an abbreviation for American. Now there are a few of those. A is one of them, and A could be right here, but the one that comes up most is US. For United States, obviously, and we've got this S here, so I suspect, I don't know, A business. No. Patronage. Custom. If you give a shop your patronage, you custom is bad, isn't it? Because if US is the American part, then the summits word begins CT, which is complete nonsense. Summits could be peaks, something like that. Climbs. Scales. Scales. Patronage. Don't know. Okay, so we better take the U out because we haven't justified it. Let's try 8 down, 8 letters, serendipitously enough, and we have steamy in here. I'm thinking sauna, but it doesn't look like it is. But you must wear socks. but you must wear socks. Steamy in here. Bathroom? Bath? Bath something? I don't know why I'm thinking bath something. Again, the recipe part, I think this is a word for somewhere that's steamy. And I think the way the recipe might work is a word for you. Now, you is a funny word, but you could have a word like the, couldn't you? That means you. Okay, and that's wearing a word that means socks. The problem is socks here. It could be an item of clothing, although I'm not immediately thinking of any synonyms for socks in that sense. But if you sock someone, you hit them. So could it be a word like bats around the edge or something like that? Steamy in here. Bath something. Bathhouse. No, bathhouse would need more. Bath. I don't know. Maybe we can justify a B in this one. This was the twit one. We've got an R in it now. Oh. Twit. Wow, I don't know. No, that's very difficult as well. So we're not doing very well today. Let's try 12 across, 5 letters. Concerning site as head of office IT struggles with PC. Concerning site, lovely. It's a lovely clue. Concerning site as head of office IT struggles with PC. The surface is so beautiful. James is very, very talented at this, creating surfaces for the clues that when you read them, they conjure up good images. So they could be sentences. Right, but here I have actually solved this one. If we cut the clue in the correct place, it becomes quite easy. We're going to cut it after the word site. So the definition for this 5-letter word is concerning site. Now you may think, because you've read the clue already, that means, oh, what's a concerning site? It would be a spectacle. It would be an eyesore or something like that. It doesn't mean that at all. If something is concerning your sight, it's concerning your vision. It is optic. Now, why is it optic? Let's look at the recipe. Head of office. That is not referring to a boss in an office. That is literally referring to the head letter of the word office, which is O, the first letter. O, I-T, O, this I, this T, struggles is anagram. Struggle is indicating those letters need to sort of wrestle with themselves with PC. So we have an anagram of PC, IT, and O, optic. And finally, we can just write one in. Let's go for 13 across. We do have a letter in it, 9 letters. Moderate movement. I don't know what this is, but I am thinking, is this a musical movement? And the word that comes to my mind is andantino. Now, is that possibly correct? Also, could be anti. Yeah, so I'm that's extremely lucky, frankly, that to solve that one fairly cold. And it's purely experience. So, moderate movement, also opposed to one referendum option, is conjuring up a political image, isn't it? But I've done enough of these puzzles that when I see moderate movement, I'm thinking immediately as a musical reference. And I don't know I only know the word andantino from Crosswords. But how does it work from the recipe? We've got also and, opposed to anti, and a referendum option would be yes or no. So we can actually do that one. Let's have a look at 14 down. 10 letters beginning with D. Photos I had mounted cover the inside of school. Okay, I don't know what that is either, but I'm taking a bit of a risk here because I don't know what the answer is, but I do think I can read the clue correctly. Have a go at reading it yourself and decide what you think. Where do you think we're splitting this clue? What do you think which part of this clue is defining this answer that begins with D? If you think it's the word photos, I completely agree with you. I think it's the word photos too. And the only reason for that is this next part of the clue. I had mounted. Now this is a down clue. Can we think of a short synonym for the phrase I had? Well, that would be I'd, I''D. And in a down clue, if that is mounted, it's reversed. So I would be astonished if this clue doesn't begin DI. And given that, well, the word photos must be what's being defined here. Photos are, I can't think of it, I don't know. I had mounted cover the inside of school. Cover the inside of. What? That is called something, isn't it? When you cover the inside of something, you sort of line it, delineate, line. I quite like line. No, it's delineate is DE. Photos. At least I don't have to spell the word daguerreotype today. That's a word I never like to see. I've never remember how to spell it. I don't know what this is. Now, should we go for one of these long answers? Well, let's look at 2 down. I don't think I've looked at that. 6 letters. Crooked old mater, which strongly suggests criminal, is mum. Well, yeah, okay. So, where are you going to cut this clue? It's a really good practice, especially if if you've been doing these puzzles for a month, you should always be approaching these clues and forcing yourself to make a commit. Where do you think we're cutting the clue? Because this is most of the skill, I believe, in these puzzles, is working out which bit of the clue is recipe, which bit of the clue is the definition. Here, if you're cutting it between the word mater and the word which, you're right. Crooked old mater is actually crooked is an anagram indicator. It's saying we need to anagram O, which is a valid abbreviation for old, and the letters of mater. Now, I do this every week, but it bears repetition. You can't just abbreviate any word in a cryptic crossword clue to its initial. It has to be supported by the dictionary with almost no exceptions. And if we go to the letter O in the dictionary, you can see one of the first things given is old. So this word old here is giving us the letter O. We anagram that with meter, and we can create this word omerta, which is the code of silence that sort of governs mafia activities. So how is that defined? Which strongly suggests criminal is mum, is not saying that the criminal is your mother. It's saying that if you're mum, you're silent, aren't you? So to strongly suggest that a criminal should stay silent is the code of silence of the mafia. There we go. The mafia code of honour requiring silence about criminal activities and stressing the disgrace of informing. So at least we could do that one. Now let's go for 3 down, which is 9 letters this time. One missing initially, admitted to a lecture with some upheaval. Well, I don't know what this is, but this might be a special type of clue. I'm wondering if this is a clue which is technically known as an and lit. What does that mean? It means I've said that we have to split these clues in half. So 1 bit's the definition, 1 bit is the recipe. There is one special type of clue that disobeys that rule, and that's a clue where the entire clue acts as a definition and the entire clue acts as wordplay as well as acts as a recipe. Now, why do I think that here? Well, it's because one missing initially. To me, that says look at the word one and miss off its initial, which would be NE. I mean, there is another possibility though there. 1 could be the Roman numeral for the number 1, which is I, and then missing initially could be M. So those 2 possibilities exist. I don't know which is correct. But that IM or that NE is going to be admitted to Electra with some upheaval. Well, that suggests an anagram if you upheave the letters of Electra. So I think this is, and then we'd have to read the whole clue as defining whatever the word we're coming up with. So 1 missing initially admitted to Electra with some upheaval. Electra. Electra was a Greek. I don't think I know enough about my Greek myths. We've got C. I quite like the idea of putting IM in something. Or, I don't know. I just don't know, actually. Let's go for 9 down. I mean, this is I think this is unlikely. We've only got a checking A here. 10 letters. State coach for Turkish leader who's out to lunch. The word state is always evocative in cryptic crosswords. To state is to aver, A-V-E-R. But there are lots of American states, aren't there? A state could just be a name of a country. Coach for Turkish leader. I mean, Turkish leader is a funny phrase as well. It could be the leading letter of the word Turkish, which would be T. Or Turkish leader, isn't an aga a Turkish leader? Who's out to lunch? If you're out to lunch, you're mad, aren't you? State. Out to lunch. Nuts. Mad. Keep thinking of Islamabad. It's not that. No, I don't know what that is. Okay, so we're going to have to go further afield. 12 letters, 15 across. Live singer with a costume representative of her country. Again, sort of Eurovision is what is in my mind now. Live singer with a costume representative of her country. Wow. What is that? Okay, I haven't got a clue, but I will tell you. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Live. To live is to be. So I'm wondering whether this might begin with B. A singer. A singer could be a rat, somebody who tells on criminal activity. But a singer could also be something like a bass singer or an alto singer. Or even a sewing machine. No, it's not that, probably. With a costume, don't know what that means. Representative of her country. So I suspect... Oh, could costume be a dress, actually? Could it be that? ESS is all I'm thinking there. That would be a typical ending for a female headmistress or something like that. Is that what's happening? Representative of her country. Don't know. It's quite good checking letters in that as well, isn't it? What was... Oh, this... Oh, something house maybe would work there. Thou for you. Maybe this is something house. Hot house. Oh, that's right. Good grief. Okay, so this is very... Okay, this is very good. I'm just going to take out the address at the moment, but it has given me a way into 8 down. Steamy in here. It was... We were defining hot house. You was thou. THOU. I can't remember what I... Did I say thou before, or did I say thee? I think THEE, didn't I? Well, thou is what we needed. And that's wearing socks. And it wasn't socks as in hits. It was hose, as in hosiery. So that was actually solvable. I didn't solve it, but it was solvable. Okay, so now our twit. Twit copying, antique, with pine mostly. I wonder if it is a twit copying. Maybe it is somebody who parrots, parroter or something like that. Antique. I keep thinking of to antique as a verb. To antique. Now, isn't to antique to cover someone in talcum powder so that they look all grey and old? No, it's not going to be to do with that. With pine, mostly. Pine is a word to... It must be... I think it must be pine as in... To long for, to... I keep thinking of yearn as well, and then I'm wondering if it begins year. I don't know. Let's try 7 down again. Now, if this was an E, let's just see if that would help me. So I thought it might be you here, didn't I? Patronage. Summits, plural, so it would feel like that. Patronage. I keep thinking of business. No, business is wrong. I don't know. I don't like that. I'm not sure. Patronage. Okay. So we have got a bit stymied here, haven't we? We looked at this one, didn't we? Oh, we did. Flatter. Sweet talk. Well, that must be right. I don't know why it's right, but I'm going to put it in and hope that we can justify it. To sweet talk is to flatter. So track takes very little will be wee, as in a wee dram of whiskey. We would have a small dram of whiskey. So very little. Okay, very little time will be tea. And time can be abbreviated to T. I think the basis for that is from Newton's equations, but things like V equals UT plus a half AT squared. Is that one of them? Let's just check, and I will confirm for you. It's definitely here. No, it is definitely here. There, time. So T goes in stalk. Oh yes, if you track somebody, you would stalk. You would stalk your prey if you were tracking your prey, wouldn't you? So sweet talk. Now we could look back at 5 down, which ends in K. A lot of sharp turns. I'm afraid. Got it. I'm afraid. This is a bit of a comic book explanation. You would have seen this in comics, well, maybe adult comics as well, but you might see the expression eek. And eek is, believe it or not, is a word. And how does the wordplay work then? Well, I was right. We're taking a lot of a word that means sharp, and if something's sharp, it's keen. Let me show you that. Keen. No, it's right there. So we take so. I mean, it's an example of a clue where I said the most important thing was to be able to read the clue correctly. I could read this one correctly. I still couldn't solve it until we got that K. But we take a lot of the word sharp. So keen. Take a lot of it. Key. Turn it round. Eek. And then we should be able to justify that by looking in our dictionary. Eek, denoting fright. Oh, yes, he says, conventionally in children's comics. So what's this? Bear. Oh, it could still begin year. Twit. Copying antique. Yeah. With pine mostly. I'm wondering if there's a word like yearnish or something. I don't think there is. But let's see. Let's try this one down again now. Oh, it couldn't be bish. Oh gosh, I almost did say this. Right. So, okay. Oh, did I say? I might even have said there's no word that means see boss, didn't I? Oh, I'm so stupid. I didn't think of this. I think when we read this clue earlier, I said there are no words that mean see boss. But that's because I wasn't at that point thinking of see as in a diocese. A see is a diocese, and the boss of a diocese is a bishop, and that is what we have to enter in here. Bungle. If you bungle something, you bish it. bish. It's a weird word, I know. And then work. Well, this is common. Short synonyms for work in crosswords. One of them would be go, because if something is on the go, it's working. To go is to work. But more often, it's OP. And that isn't just a description of Protoss' state in StarCraft 2. In fact, that wouldn't do justice to the current state of Protoss in StarCraft 2. It is completely OP, utterly broken, and the game is being ruined by it. So if anyone from Blizzard is watching, please take note. I know of what I speak. But no, OP is actually opus, a musical work. If we look here, we won't find it. No, we will. It is here. It's definitely here. Opus. So work is often opus in cryptic crosswords, and therefore OP. And let's just check bish, because that's a weird word, isn't it? Bish. A blunder or mistake. There we go. So now we might be able to do one across. Oh, this was this beautifully worded clue. Cover up in shower. Not after nurses turn around. I've thought of a different way of reading this. So if this is a word which means cover up in shower, I don't know what that is, but let's say it was that. How could the recipe work? Not after. Let's say there was a word that meant not after, like before. But it's not before, I don't think. I think it's a 4-letter word that means not after. Nurses turn around. If you nurse something, you cosset it, you look after it, you host it. So I think this might be a word that means not after, nursing, turn. Can we think of a short synonym for turn? If you have a turn at Monopoly, you have a go, don't you? So I'm wondering if turn around is that. Go reversed in a word that means not after. Brolly. Oh, hang on, I've changed my mind. Brolly would be a cover that was up in a shower, wouldn't it? Brolly. Well, why is that? I have no idea. I really like that as a thought. Oh, would that work with my Electra anagram? It would. Electra has got an L in it. Okay, let's really focus on Brolly here. A turn round, is that roll? Oh, that's vicious. That is vicious. Wow. Okay. I was wrong. I was wrong, but it's not easy, this. I think not after is defining the word by, by. I suppose if you're by something, you're not after it. Like positionally. And then that's nursing, a word that means turn around, which isn't saying turn reversed. It's to turn around is to roll. I mean, that's so difficult, honestly. Cover up in. It's a brilliant clue. It's totally brilliant. The surface is so brilliant, but it's very difficult to solve, I would argue, without getting a B at the start. Now, so do we think this has any in it, or I am in it? One missing initially. Admitted to Electra with some upheaval. Latecomer. Oh, that's totally genius. That is total genius. It's latecomer. I haven't worked quite out why. Oh, one missing initially. Okay, so it's the initial letters not just of missing, but of one as well. The word one as well. So O and M are being omitted to an anagram of Electra. And the way the definition works is it's trying to conjure up an image of you arriving at the theatre. You weren't there initially, but you're omitted with some upheaval, which is what exactly would happen when we've all been there in the theatre and some latecomer comes in and you sort of hate them. So it's just, that's beautiful. It's very good. And the question mark there at the end of the clue, it signifies two things. But firstly, the and lit nature of the clue. And secondly, it's sort of saying this, the latecomer's an example of what might cause this event to happen. I love that. That's very, very clever. Now, I would love to solve. Oh no, I'm wrong about this one as well. Look, live or live is not B at the start. Representative of her country. Ambassadress would work, wouldn't it? So, somebody who is a female ambassador? Is that a word? That's got base in it. Oh. So, if I live, I am. So live is not be, it's am. Singer is a base, and it is a dress to give ambassadress, which must be the way you spell a female ambassador, I guess. So our photos now. Inside of school. Discipline is a word. To school might be to discipline. Is it clips or something? Is that what's going on here? Pics. Oh, rotten, you rotten man. Yeah, this, okay, so he's got me again. I thought the definition here was a 10-letter word that meant photos. It did not occur to me that photos was part of the recipe, because I didn't think there would be a short synonym for photos that I could reverse, as well as reversing my I had idea to give me my DI. But that's exactly what he's done. Photos are pics, P-I-C-S. I had is I'd, ID. That's all mounted. And then to cover the inside of is to line. So I had that idea was correct. And then school is discipline. If you discipline someone, you teach them, don't you? You school them. But the way it's so well worded again, to cover the inside of school. Because the way that the school is used as the definition is so hard to see. It's really clever setting, and that's a very difficult clue. Wow. Oh goodness me, I've got this horrible crossing now between the twit and this summits one. Summits, peaks, raises, patronage. Now, what's the ending here? Welcoming American, patronage. I almost want it to end EL or something like that. Patronage. I will provide you with my patronage. I will provide you with my... So if it was, okay, what summits then would end EL. That doesn't feel right, does it? Summits. Unless it's summits as in sort of political summits, like meetings or something. I mean, no, that's the way the surface is trying to make us read it like that. Summits. Welcoming American. I mean, if it is US here, then our word for summits is blank blank I blank E blank. Like raises, but it's not raises, is it? Spires? Suspires? There is a word, suspire. I don't know what it means. I don't think it means patronage. I don't think it does. Is a summit really a spire? I don't think so. Could this be an S? Twit copying antique with pine. Oh, I don't like that. Auspices. Oh, apexes. Oh, is that? Oh my goodness, that is vicious. Within the auspices. Auspices could perhaps mean patronage. I'm wondering if the plural of apex is apices. I mean, it's not a word I ever use. Apices. So, that's probably right. I mean, it's quite a decent thought actually for my brain. That would give us a better letter here. Oh, so, okay. Pine. If you ache for something, you pine for it. So we just have to get these checking letters now. Come on, Simon. Twit. Copying antique. A twit is a... I don't know, I was thinking it's something roach, maybe? Copying? Or twit copying? Antique? Heirloom? Retro? And, oh, it couldn't be that, could it? Please don't be that. There can't be a word retroach, can they? A retroach. A twit who copies. I wish I hadn't had that thought. I won't be able to get that out of my head now. And I think it's totally bogus. I don't know what this is. This is where people with a classical education are at such an advantage, because this word, whatever it is, I just think it has some sort of classical root. And that is bad for me. Let's leave my subconscious to mull that. Let's have a look at 9 down. Oh, this is a state again. Kalamazoo or something. That doesn't fit. Coach for Turkish leader. It looks like it's desperate to... Oh, Madagascar. That's got Arga in the middle of it. Mad Arga. Oh, it's got to be Mad... Mad Arga's car. It's a Mad Arga's car. It's a coach for the Turkish leader who's gone crazy. The Mad Arga's car. Or if I say it differently, Madagascar. Isn't that brilliant? So the Arga was correct then. So let's go and have a look at that. Oh, Arga. A Turkish commander or chief officer. So the coach for the Turkish leader who's out to lunch, who's crazy, is the Mad Arga's car. Isn't that beautiful? What a great clue. Oh, that's made me cheerful. Right, let's have a go at 19 across. 5-7. Are cold kisses coming inside only when it's dark? Again, it's genius. The wording is so good. Are cold kisses coming inside only when it's dark? Are cold. If you are cold, what are you? You're frozen. Kisses must be mouths or some synonym thereof. Lips. Oh, total eclipse, partial, something eclipse. Lunar eclipse. Solar eclipse. I don't know. It's some sort of eclipse. I think that's got lip. And the only reason I think it's that is because it's got lips in it, and lips could be kisses. Cold. Oh, okay, yeah. So R, A-R. The R in the clue, I think, is going to be A-R-E in the answer. Cold can be abbreviated to C. You'll have seen that on your taps. Lips are kisses. Coming inside only. A word for only is soul, isn't it? S-O-L-E. And when it's dark, question mark. An example of when it's dark would be during a solar eclipse. That's a beautiful, beautiful clue. Are cold kisses coming inside only when it's dark? Goodness me. Okay, let's have I haven't looked at this clue. 16 down. 9 letters beginning with D. A dish dasher or something, an Arab robe. It's called something like a dish dasher. Arab robe ad has misrepresented with superior beauty. Oh, it's superior, right. It's definitely I think it's dish dasher like that. I'm not sure. And I think it's got several spellings. Yeah, okay, this is right. So the way this works in terms of the recipe, add has misrepresented is saying we need to anagram the letters of add has. We need to misrepresent them. But that goes after a word that means beauty. Now you may say, hang on, it doesn't say that. It says with superior beauty. Yeah, but if something is superior to something, it's above it, isn't it? So in a down clue, if something is superior, it appears above it. So the word for beauty, which is a dish, a very good-looking person would be a dish, comes superior in the answer above the anagram of dash, the anagram of add has, to give dish dasher. And I just want to check whether I'm misremembering. I think there are other spell. Oh, it's not even there. Oh, it's really not there. I'm sure. I know this as a word. Dish. Has it got a hyphen? Dish dasher. Oh, I don't know. That's weird. I'm sure I've seen this word before. It's not there. Dish. Am I just not seeing it? Dish? Or hang on. Well, let's try and force us to find it. Match 0. Oh, well, okay. I think that's a word. I would have bet a lot of money that was a word. And it fits the wordplay, but it's not in the dictionary, which is not filling me with confidence. But I think there is a rope called a dish dasher. So I'm leaving it in. I don't care what the dictionary says. 24 across, 5 letters, beginning with D. Couple taken with second sight of Florence. I mean, I don't know. Couple. Oh, I have got this. I thought it was going to be the definition part of the clue. In fact, where do you think the split is? Again, make your decision. And I thought it was going to be after the word second. So couple taken with second, and then the sight of Florence question mark, I thought was the definition. And I thought it would be something seen in the city of Florence, and indeed it is. So in the city of Florence, you might see the Duomo. And a couple is a duo. And if a second is a mo, give me a second. So Duomo is lovely clue again. Couple taken with second sight of Florence, lovely. We might be able to get 17 down with that S there. 5-3. Embankment architect, lengthened with cob. Embankment, Aswan Dam? The Aswan Dam? Is that a dam? Is that a thing? Well, no, it's a thing. Could it be described could it be described or defined as an embankment? And if it was, how would that work? Aswan Dam. Architect lengthened with cob. I don't know. That doesn't fill me with any confidence because none of the wordplay makes any sense at all. Oh, hang on though. A cob is a swan. Oh, hang on. That it is right. I've just realised a cob is a swan. As one. Okay. How does the rest of this work then? A cob. A cob is a male swan, I think. A female swan, I think, is a pen. So, oh, I see. Right. I think architect then is Adam. I've seen that before. I'm not sure. I feel this is a deep point of ignorance with me, but I should know what. I don't think it's a biblical reference to Adam and Eve, but I have seen architect and Adam as being synonymous before, and that means there's a famous architect called Adam, and I just don't. Do I know who that is? I probably do. Adam. I probably do, but I can't think of why I think I know it. So, but I do understand it now. So I think the way the clue is meant to work is we have Adam as the architect, and Adam has been lengthened by the inclusion of a synonym of cob. And cob question mark is there to say that cob could be a swan. So it doesn't. If it had said bird, it wouldn't have needed the question mark because a swan is a subcategory of bird. So swan is included within the definition of bird. But cob could be a swan, if you see what I mean. So it's sort of a reverse logic type thing. Cob is an example of a swan, rather than swan being an example of a bird. I don't know if that's making sense, but that's why that question mark is there. And Aswan Dam is correct. Oh, should we just think about pangramage? Is this a pangram? We've got this W. We've got a K. We haven't got J, X, or Q yet, though, have we? No, probably don't have to worry about pangrams. But let's try 22 across. Friend taking minute to finish piano exam out of time. Friend taking minute to finish piano exam out of time. I want that to be atemporal or something like that. I think it probably is atemporal. That would mean out of time, wouldn't it? And from a word, okay, how did I back into that? Well, once you get all these checking letters, it becomes easier. But exam, do I know any short synonyms for exams? Viva would be one, but it doesn't come up very much because you don't see VI, VA in many words. But oral comes up a lot, an oral exam, because it's such a useful series of letters. So this word exam, I'm instantly thinking oral. I've got R and L at the end of the answer, so that looks brilliant. That would imply that because that's appearing at the end of the answer, the definition is what comes after the word exam, which is out of time. And then if we read the rest of it, friend taking minute. Well, minute I know can be abbreviated to M. Can I think of any short synonyms for friend? I thought of pal, that was the first one I thought of, but then I thought of mate. And mate, take the M out, that would give ATE, and that felt good, didn't it? So it's sort of always building to what we needed. Oh, but I've just realised that actually the way it works is friend taking minute to finish. So it's saying take the M of the word mate and put it at the finish of the word mate to give ATEM, add a P for piano. That is a valid abbreviation. There's lots of things to check here, aren't there? But P, we go here. We won't find piano, but it is here. It is. It really is. No, it definitely is. Yeah, there we go. Piano. And let's check minute as well for M, just so that we can say we did a thorough job. There, minute. So everything is justified, and atemporal must be a word that means out of time. I mean, I'm not changing it, so I'm happy to look it up. Atemporal. Hopefully it'll be there this time, unlike dish dasher. There we go. So let's look at, we've actually got quite a few first letters now. Should we go for 23 down? 5 letters. Pretend authority raised undue spending limits. I don't know what this is, but I sort of want it to be that word, sued, because that means pretend, as in pseudo. Authority. Raised undue. Oh, no, it's hidden. It is that. It's a hidden. So we talk about this every week or most weeks. There'll always be, well, there doesn't have to be, but there's very, very often one of these at least in every Times crossword. And it's one where the constructor has hidden the answer, literally spelt out the answer in the clue. And if you look reversed within this phrase undue spending, you can see PSEUD. Now, when the constructor hides the answer in the clue, the constructor has to tell you that they've hidden it. They can't just put it in there and expect you to find it. They have to tell you it's there. It's like what I'd said earlier about these recipes. The recipes have to be precise. It's not by accident that this has got sued in the middle. What words in the clue are telling us that the answer is hidden? Raised undue spending limits. Well, that's saying raise the phrase, reverse, this is a down clue, undue spending, so reverse it. So we've got the string of letters GNIDNEPSEUDNU, and limited by that phrase, i.e. within it, captured within it, limited by it, is PSEUD. So that is how it works, and a pretend authority must be a sued as a noun, I'm presuming then. A pretentious person intellectually, a pretend authority, somebody who says they're an authority on something but isn't really. That felt a bit like me at the start of this puzzle, but okay, it's going a little bit better now. Hopefully you don't think I'm too much of a sued. Now let's have a look at 25 across, 5 letters, beginning with D. Urge removal of line from silly speech. Urge removal of line from silly speech. Yeah, that's okay. Again, go through the motions. What do you think the definition is? If you think it's the word speech, that's not a bad shout. I don't think it is. If you think it's the word urge, that's correct. Now the recipe, removal of line. Now if I told you that L was a valid abbreviation of line, you'd understand. Removal of L, so we're removing an L from a 6-letter word for silly speech. And silly speech is drivel. And if we remove L from that, we get drive. And if you urge something, if you urge cattle to move faster, you drive, don't you? You drive them forward. Let's go for 27, 8 letters, beginning with M. See dogma remade. We can almost stop there. See dogma remade. That word remade, it should be screaming anagram at you, especially in an 8-letter answer. As massive hit. So this is a word that means a massive hit. Mega something. A megadose? Is that a thing? I had a mega dose of that. I had a huge hit of it. I mean, it's a great use of hit there, because you do take a hit of a drug, don't you? So a mega dose feels right. Now, is this fleeting or something like that? 8 letters, 18 down. Fugitive's attempt to escape upset good egg. Fugitive's attempt. I don't know what this is. Fugitive. No, is it fleeting then? Attempt to escape is to flee, isn't it? So fleeting. Is fleeting synonymous with fugitive? The good egg bit is the only bit of this I understand. Good can be abbreviated to G. That is a slightly surprising abbreviation, perhaps. I always find that slightly surprising, but it is. Good, there it is. And an egg, something you hope you don't get in your hair, is a knit. So G knit is upset. So that explains the end of the clue. And then attempt, maybe fugitive's attempt. I'm not sure. I think it must be fleeting. I can't decide whether I think to escape is to flee, and therefore fleeting is describing the fugitive's attempt. Fleeting, so is a fleeting something a fugitive would attempt to do? If I do a fleeting, am I doing a runner? That might be what's intended. Or whether flee is to attempt to escape. And then this word fleeting would mean fugitive. That doesn't feel as good, does it? I think it is fleeting. I'm not changing it. So shall we look it up and see what the actual definition? Oh, it seems my caps lock is fleeting. It's not there as a noun. Passing quickly, transient, temporary. So that would suggest that fugitive can have one of those meanings. Oh, fugitive, it's just there, isn't it? Fleeting. So they are just synonymous. So attempt to escape is to flee. Now I've still got this horrible one up here, but let's keep going. 26 down, ending in S, 3 letters. In Republican's absence, let's stop there. What's that saying from a cryptic crossword perspective? In Republican's absence. Is it a reference to American politics? No, definitely not. It's saying remove an R. Now, you may say, but I didn't know R could be an abbreviation for Republican. That's totally understandable. But if you think that it might be, and I think it might be, even if it doesn't seem to be here, I really do think it might be, and I'm going to solve the clue as if it is. I can't find it there. Okay, conflicts. Yeah, conflicts are wars. Take an R out. Happened, if something happened, it wasn't it? So that's doable. In Republicans' absence, conflicts happen. It's a very cleverly worded clue, but I can't find Republican in my dictionary, which is slightly distressing. It must be. I think it must be there. I'm just missing it. I don't mean to miss it, or maybe it's my old dictionary. I'm sorry, Shane, if you're watching this. I know I should update. Oh well, never mind. What do we think this is? Without looking at windswept is the word I think would fit there. Let's see. 9 letters. Turn bench back to street exposed to blasts. Exposed to blasts, that would be windswept. If you turn something, you wind it. Bench, is that a pew? Turn. Yeah. So turn is to wind, and then bench is a pew, is in a church pew, and that is back, so it's reversed in ST, which is a valid abbreviation for street. So windswept, but we're very fortunate. I mean, we've got so many letters in that one, and such good checking letters, that there really was no excuse. Let's go for 21 down. 3-3. Sailor in the doldrums, relatively okay for tobacco. Sailor in the doldrums, relatively okay for tobacco. What? What is that talking about? Low tar? Yeah, okay. I don't know much about smoking, I have to confess. Oh, my W is double tapping. But But I think low tar, if a cigarette is low tar, it's like better for you slightly than ones that are normal tar or something. And tar is this word that comes up in cryptic crosswords as synonymous with a sailor all the time. Every nice girl loves a sailor. Every nice girl loves a tar. So if you see sailor, you have to be thinking tar. You have to be thinking AB for able seaman. You have to be thinking, I think, OS for ordinary seaman. So lots of things. Jack. You've got to be thinking about all sorts of short synonyms, but one of them is tar. And if the sailor was feeling a bit blue in the doldrums, it's not referring to the doldrums as in the nautical place, the doldrums. It's if you're feeling a bit low, you would be in the doldrums. So low tar and relatively okay for tobacco is then the definition. Right, let's go for 20 down. 6 letters. Many academics divided by gender neutral pronoun. Many academics divided by gender neutral pronoun. Yeah, I've got this. Okay, now this is tricky, I think. The trickiest part of this is to divide the clue in the correct place. Because where do you think you're going to divide it? Do you think it means pronoun, a gender neutral pronoun? Many academics. I think if you think it's cut after academics, that is very sensible. Because a group of academics, you might be thinking of is it the name of a university? Something like that. That would be a totally legitimate thought. But actually what we need to do here is to cut it after the word many. And if we do that, academics, we need a short synonym for some academics. They're divided by, so inside the word for academics, we've got a gender neutral pronoun. And I do know that Z is a gender neutral pronoun, and suddenly the clue becomes easy. Can I think of a word that means many that goes in there? Well, I can. Dozens and dons are your academics. So 28 across, 6 letters. Tsars like roughly level after revolution. Kaiser? Wow. I don't know. I'm thinking Kaiser maybe. Is Kaiser like that or is it like that? I should know, shouldn't I? Like roughly level after revolution. Tsars like. What on earth is this talking about? Like roughly. Level. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not Tsar. Like roughly. I'm sorry, I know I'm being dumb about this. I'm appalled with myself. Tsars like roughly level. I hope Dish Dasher isn't wrong. It can't be wrong. The word roughly in cryptic crossword land, it could be an anagram indicator, but it could also be a synonym for circa, CIRCA, which can be abbreviated to C or even CA. So could it be that somehow? Level after revolution. Tsars like. Oh, there can't be a word that means Tsars like. A Tsars like would be a. And that would mean I'd have to come up with a 4-letter word that means level. which I'm going to R blank S blank. Raise. Caesar. Oh, that's vicious. Oh, that is vicious. I'm not sure that's right either. Is that, so is Tsar's like, is that saying, because in terms of timing, is that saying the like of a Tsar is somebody who heads a state, like a Caesar? I think it might be that. And then roughly circa CA, to level is to raise. Now I think that can be spelt with an S. I think it definitely can be spelt with a Z, as into, you know, if you raise a building, you level it. So I think that's Caesar, but that's really hard, and I'm not certain. I'm not going to think of anything better, so I will look up RASE. And good lord, it is there as an alternative to this, to raise. I mean, that's very, very tricky indeed. But I've still got this tricky one as well. Twit copying antique. With pine, okay, so with the pine mostly is ache. That must be right. An antique. Copying antique. Oh. Is a repro like a reproduction? Is that a copying of an antique? Oh, that might be right. So it might be reproach. That's a word. Does that mean twit? Is a twit a reproach? It's one of those ones I just don't know. Repro. I think a repro is a reproduction, so that would be a copying of an antique. Twit. To twit, is that to... Maybe to twit is to reproach. Maybe if you twit somebody, you tell them off. Okay, that's what I'd go for, I think. Let's have a look and submit without leaderboard. And we are right. So that's good. So now we should check, shouldn't we? Why is twit synonymous with reproach? A fool, that's the meaning I knew. Oh, there we go. Twit to a reproach. Well, okay. I didn't know that. That's quite tricky, I think. I wonder if that's the one that Matthew Marcus got wrong, actually, because that's really, I mean, Caesar is also, there's a few in here that are really difficult. Reproach Caesar. Brolly isn't easy, but people will get Brolly because they'll get Bishop. Dish Dasher was right, even though it's not in my dictionary. Auspices is brutal. Also, oh, let's look that up. In fact, what was that one? Summits. So it must be the plural of apex. Must be apices. There it is, as well as apexes. And then also, what was it? Auspices were meant to mean patronage. In the plural, it's literally there. In the plural, patronage. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, but what a brilliant puzzle. Absolutely brilliant. I'm pleased to get through it. My Mad Argus car. Mad Argus car. That was a highlight, wasn't it? That is fantastic. It's just a beautiful, beautiful crossword. Now, if you'll forgive me, let me just check the recording is working. Looks like I've been up all night brushing my hair. I will have a quick go, hopefully a quick go at least, at the quick cryptic. I'll try and race a bit on this one. Who's it by? Joker. Seldom met with Mark before chair scarce. Reprimand coach standing my favourite carpet, I want that to be. Intervening period led to EMI going interim or something. Meantime, maybe? Maybe, I'm not sure. Circle round pub game. Darts? No, I don't know. Should be able to get that, can't. Run in fabulous is acre. Wyatt Bronco, probably. Let's just guess it. Concerned with valuable clothing, this will get oil out. I don't know. Skin disease, acne, I would go for. Support former queen as appropriate. I don't know, actually. Condemn, study, denounce. Part of air in mobile ringtone. Part of air. Nitrogen. Nice clue. Check back of car concealed by street corner. Strangle. Oh, that's a good clue as well. Clingy individual allowed to hold and limpet. Earth ton supporting tree. Oh, I don't know. Cause for regret is mine over years. Pit. Why? Gemstone is probably opal. Now, circle round pub game. I don't know. Sing into main microphone finally. In tone, is that something? Oh, I don't know. Fire siren. In truth, humdrum existence. If you're in a rut. Tally. What's cutting? Criminal charge. That is right. Rapier. Ruin atmosphere when returning. Doom. Shape pentagon. What could be? Kalahari, a desert. Path following leeway. Double W as well. Oh, what's this one then? Concerned with. Valuable. Finery. Refinery. Support. Former queen. Oh, proper. Silly Simon. Pool. So is this in tone? Into main microphone. Into. Oh, maybe it is N and E there then. Earth tons supporting tree. Planet. Lovely. Very nice puzzle indeed. I think in tone is right. Yeah, okay. Not too bad today. 7th out of 217. Oh, well, it said 7th. Mark beat me by a second, but I was talking. I definitely have made up my second there if I hadn't been talking, so I'll take that as a moral victory. You can disagree with me all you like. I'm taking it. But yeah, lovely puzzle by Joker. Enjoyed it mightily. I hope you got something out of this for your own solving. Do let me know in the comments how you're getting on. I read the comments and I enjoy them, especially when they're kind. And please do please do subscribe. It really helps with the algorithm, which unfortunately doesn't rate these puzzles nearly as highly as, in my opinion, it should. Yeah, we'll be back later with more editions of Cracking the Cryptic. Bye.